one in Alaska, Canada, and over Lake Huron in the Midwest. They acted in accordance with established parameters for determining how to deal with unidentified aerial objects. At their recommendation, I gave the order to take down these 3 objects due to hazards to civilian commercial air traffic and because we could not rule out the surveillance risk of sensitive facilities.
Followed by that is the testimony of many whistleblowers who claim to have found or encountered extraterrestrial life on Earth or witnessed unidentified flying objects.
3 retired members of the American military have testified at a White House hearing on UFOs, claiming they present a national security problem. They allege the US government has actively covered up encounters and is conducting research on extraterrestrial materials retrieved from crashed UFOs.
But from my personal experience, we were seeing objects on a daily basis that we couldn't attribute to any of our assets, our technology, or our capabilities.
First of all, our military is encountering vehicles that far surpass the capabilities of our own frontline aircraft. They're operating on a persistent basis in restricted military airspace. Sometimes they're jamming the sensors on our aircraft. So obviously this is far more concerning than lumbering Chinese balloons.
Keep in mind that many of these whistleblowers are retired U.S. government and military personnel, and the origin of their stories took place when they were on duty, yet it wasn't disclosed until now.
The Las Vegas family keeping quiet still after a frightening encounter with what they claim were large, non-human creatures right in their own backyard.
In the midst of the UFO debate, a suspicious 911 call was made by a family in Las Vegas on May 1st, 2023, reporting to have encountered aliens in their own backyard. It's quite the 911 call of the century. People are known to call the emergency number for many unusual reasons, but an alien invasion is definitely something you don't see every day. In the recorded 911 call, you can hear the young man telling the dispatcher about an enormous alien-like creature being spotted by his family outside their home.
Okay, lady. Me, my dad, and my brother, we're working on a truck in our backyard, and we have a big lot outside, right? Correct?
Okay.
We were working, and we just see in a corner of our eye something fall down from the sky, and it was with light, and when it hit down, it was like a big impact, and we felt it. We felt like an energy, and then we hear like a lot of footsteps near us, and then we have a big equipment, and we see, and there's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and it's looking at us, and it's still there, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it, and big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
The caller's description of the creature was definitely abnormal, and he's extremely certain that the spotted life form wasn't human. It's almost like something out of a movie, where this young man is the protagonist, fortunate enough to have an alien crash-landed in his backyard.
So yeah, this is quite weird, Brian was saying as we're watching this story. Now, we've been in contact with the family in that video, and as you heard in that 911 call, they seem very reasonable and honestly quite scared as you heard them in the call. No, they don't seem impaired in any way, and whatever crashed by the time that police got there was gone, but sources say that there's really no dispute. Something was in their yard. Exactly what? We do not know.
And of course, the police were sent to the scene to investigate this sighting. From the footage of one of the officer's body cams, you can hear the officer questioning the family on the scene. But what's even more intriguing is that the police officer also claimed to have seen something fall out of the sky.
Did you see it?
Huh?
Did you see it?
Yeah, me and him saw it.
What'd you see?
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
Because I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard, or did you see it? No? I'm kind of curious now. I want to know if there's aliens.
Police officers even took the initiative to ask the people around the area if they had seen anything falling out of the sky, as the family had said, and the response was more positive than you would think.
Hey, did you guys... Hey, this might sound like a really dumb question, but did you guys see anything fall out of the sky? Yeah. We got a call, and one of my partners actually said that they saw it too. So, if you happen to see any, like I'm not BSing you, if you see any,
footage?
I would normally discount it as nothing. However, seeing as one of my partners said they saw it too. Only reason I'm actually investigating it further. So if you guys see anything, especially in your backyard, please call 911. We'll come over, okay?
Finally, the police officer is seen informing the family to call 911 if they get the chance to see the 8-foot creature again. It is evident from the footage that this officer, unlike his colleagues, is very excited about the possibility of discovering aliens.
I wanted to find some aliens. Well, hey, if those 9-foot beings come back into your backyard, you call the police and we'll come back here, okay?
Though it is exciting, but whatever was in the family's backyard was long gone when the police arrived.
The fireball captured on a police body cam on the night of April 30th was real. The American Meteor Society says witnesses reported seeing it all across the West, from northeastern Utah to Southern California. Another Las Vegas resident sent us a video of the same object recorded on her home camera.
Now let's back up a few hours, because on the night of this incident, there were several reports from different people claiming they saw something fall out of the sky as well.
It's almost midnight on May 1st when a Las Vegas Metro Police officer's body cam catches this, something flashing low in the sky.
And minutes later was when the 911 call came in from the Las Vegas family.
I have butterflies, bro. Everyone thought a shooting star, then these people say there's aliens in their backyard.
It's understandable when you put 2 and 2 together. Something bright fell out of the sky, and a 911 call about aliens was made. So what could this fireball potentially be? Because we have established that there was something that flew across the sky and possibly landed in someone's backyard on the night of April 30th, 2023. There were many reports and eyewitnesses. Could it be that a UFO crash-landed on Earth? Or is it some kind of prank or experiment gone wrong? According to 8 News Now, the area where this light was spotted is surrounded by many military bases. It is entirely possible that the military was experimenting with something that might have malfunctioned. The US government is always doing things in secret, so we never know what they're up to. Anything is a possibility.
Right, so it seems from talking to our sources that something happened. There was obviously some flash in the sky. A lot of people saw it that night on the night of April 30th, early in the morning on May 1st. Did that exact thing land in their yard? I don't know. But these people said they saw some SUV circling the area. Could this have been some piece of equipment that malfunctioned? Maybe they saw something and then someone came. I can't believe we're talking about this.
Right.
Someone came and retrieved it from the backyard in the SUV. We don't know.
Except all of these were mere speculations, although the public doesn't seem satisfied with just a scientific answer. The revelation of this alien story regarding the Las Vegas family has gotten out of hand, and controversial debates begin to fuel. Many people were not on board with this story and believed it to be a hoax created by the family for publicity. On the other hand, the young man who made the initial 911 call has started to talk about their alien sighting story on social media, sparking disputes.
That 16-year-old Angel heard making that incredible 911 call on May 1st. I spoke with the teen and his father, but they refused to appear on camera. However, Angel has been active on social media, talking in detail about what he claims were large aliens in his backyard that night.
And the only thing I can see in the backyard is a tall creature, probably around 8-10 feet tall.
Another detail worth mentioning was when the police officers responded to the 911 call, they actually discovered something worth observing.
Officers responded to the home minutes later, interviewed the witnesses, canvassed the area, and cautiously inspected the backyard to look for intruders. One thing noticed by the officers was a circle in the soil.
You might think that the discovery of the circle would prove the authenticity of this story.
In conversations with us and in a podcast interview, Angel, the main witness, suggested the circle might have been created when an unknown object landed in the yard.
However, the circle in the soil failed to provide anything substantial for the case because social media users went on their own research trail and unraveled the mystery of this image.
Social media sleuths have since pointed out that the circular image has been viewable via Google Earth for more than a year.
According to the retired Las Vegas detective, Mark Berry, the circular indentation resembles more of a vehicle track.
So you're going to have 2 separate circles. And if you can see, it's the same depth and the same width of the other vehicle tracks that are going around that shed. So to me, it looks very indicative of a vehicle track, and those are back real tracking.
Thanks to social media investigators, we learn more about the case. You might think that this information discredits the family's story and everything would come to an end. Well, not quite.
The family told us by phone they had seen suspicious vehicles with men in black types checking out their home. Turns out there is substance to that.
So it wasn't actually men in black, but it was people from law enforcement who were checking out the Las Vegas family's home. In the midst of this revelation, a retired police officer recently stepped into the spotlight as a whistleblower.
A retired police officer fessed up on News Nation that he spent days staking out the house to see what, if anything, unfolded. What about those reports that Metro installed a special surveillance camera atop the house, presumably to watch for intruders, human or otherwise, or overzealous media? Turns out that's true as well. Metro confirmed as much in a statement to 8 News Now's David Charnes. The system stayed on the roof for days.
This former law enforcement officer admitted to staking out the family's house, revealing his hidden operation. So the police officer admitted to stalking the family for days to see if he could find any traces of aliens, UFOs, or extraterrestrials. Mark Berry also admits to driving a black SUV as well.
But Mark, you also spent some time staked out. Like, you staked out to see if you could get a read on this family. The family has ghosted everybody. They're not responding to interviewers that they made appointments with. They're not responding to telephone calls. I don't even know if they're in the house anymore. But what was your read when you were parked out front for hours and hours?
I have talked to some of the neighbors. I have been able to confirm noise, the big giant boom that the Ring camera had caught at one part of the valley.
It's a little out of the ordinary that law enforcement officers would go to such lengths to investigate a story that involves the topic of aliens. Usually, a case like this would be disregarded as a joke or hoax, but it seems this story is only gaining more promotion by the day.
I don't want to discount what they're saying, but the house has been dark. There has been no movement in and out other than onlookers going, by the house real slow, taking pictures. As far as movement in the house itself or in the rear, the backyard, or even in the trailers, it's been dark. And it's been dark for the last few days. So I'm sure that they may have left town.
It is understandable that the family would want to stay away from media, journalists, and interviewers, considering the commotion they've received for the past months. At least when they post something on social media, they can control the source. It's hard to imagine being under so much attention and having people stalking your home. It wouldn't be a surprise if they decided to pick up everything and move away. The pressure of staying in that home is simply too much.